What is the value of emotion in spiritual work? We see on the scale of consciousness, maybe we should put that scale back up, that the emotion depends on the level of integrity, and that emotion itself is not necessarily a detrimental. We were talking about negative emotions, which calibrate below 200, hatred, anger, self-pity, guilt, remorse. But as you get over 200, now emotion becomes a positive asset. Integrity, the commitment to integrity is a certain emotionality. It's not emotionality the way most people think of it, but it's a certain space of commitment. You can do it when you clean up the kitchen in the morning. You can commit to getting this place absolutely clean the way I want it. Eventually, you see, as the emotion goes up, it calibrates higher and higher. Probably the most important emotion, and maybe we'll get to that in a later lecture, in spiritual work is that of love, but beyond that, devotion. Devotion. What makes any spiritual understanding comprehensible and work is that one's devotion to the truth. So the pathway of heart and the pathway of mind are one and the same. They end up one and the same. Because the pathway of Advaita, let's say the Advaita, pathway of no mind, the pathway of Zen, is really based on a profound and intense dedication. One-pointedness of mind is the expression of an intense dedication, a love that is not in the world of ordinary emotionality. The love, the devotion to achieve one-pointedness of mind is extreme and intense. To leave everything in the world, fixate only on that which is straight ahead of you, with no deviance, takes an intense dedication, and that is devotion. There's a very simple way to meditate, and one that I teach people most generally, is to merely sit and close your eyes. If you sit and close your eyes and look straight ahead, if you sit and close your eyes and look straight ahead, you'll see little corpuscles. If we all look ahead, close your eyes, look ahead, you see all little dancing corpuscles, right? Those are the little blood corpuscles going through the capillaries in the retina. And you just look straight ahead. If you look straight ahead, you see there's no real form there. There's all these little dancing little particulates of light. They've got some kind of a name, I've forgotten what the name is. Little illuminations like. If you look straight ahead, then you see this sort of a semi-blank field of little dancing, minuscule, tiny dotlets of light. One can just look at them observationally without comment or anything, and at the same time be aware of one's breathing. Not to alter, just be aware of the breathing. So within oneself, you're watching the breathing and you're looking straight ahead, and you just profoundly relax and let that take you wherever it takes you. As you do, the sense of being me here begins to disappear. The sense of infinite space begins. One gets the feeling that it's almost like space looking at space, like there's not an individual person looking at the back of the eyelids. It's like it's beginning to, it happens of its own. The breathingness also, one becomes aware is happening of its own. There is no breather doing the breathing. There is no thinker doing the thinking. There is no seer doing the seeing. No thinker behind the thoughts. No doer behind the actions. No looker even. All this is just happening of its own, spontaneously.